Hey everybody, this is Vril. Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 and our playthrough as Fascist Argentina. So we took over Brazil, now we've taken everything over in South America other than the Guyana areas here. So I did do a little bit of order of battle work between episodes, and I actually went ahead. You might notice my army experience did go down because I went ahead and upgraded our armor divisions to be more like a panzer division, German panzer division. Our motorized infantry is a little bit more like, I guess, the German motorized division as well. I went ahead and got rid of our cavalry unit and changed him over to being a motorized division, I think, anyway. So we have a bunch of units. I added some new lines for our armored divisions and motorized divisions. So we'll see where we actually come out. We were working infantry equipment 3. I think this number will be higher. I think we have some... I also worked on over here some front lines. And actually, before we do anything and get this thing ticking, and actually resistance to occupation is bogus, I think that will go away once we tick time forward. So I'm going to start justifying wars here in Central America, and these will cost 25 political power each. We're going to need to work on Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, and we won't be able to do anything more than that. But as soon as we get to 25 political power, we'll start working that. So let's just go ahead, get things started. Set this army here. So I merged up all of my tank divisions. We don't really have much at all mobilized kind of stuff, so we'll see where that comes out. I'm actually planning... I don't know how this will work, but to do a naval invasion, because Panama, we can take the southern area, but we cannot take the northern area. And we have the Soviet Union declaring war on Japan, so everybody's always asking, why did the Germans declare war on the Soviets when the Germans are doing so poorly? That's because usually the Soviets declare war on Japan, from what I've seen. So yeah, so the USSR breaks the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, the non-aggression pact between Germany and the Soviet Union. A surprising development to begin with has now, less surprisingly, fallen apart. The Soviet Union has attacked, breaking the pact and vowing to crush the German regime and once again put the expansionist state in their place. German leaders may have been planning to attack themselves, but the world will never know. So they are now rapidly mobilizing to deal with the new threat. Trust between giants is a fragile thing. So unfortunately, we're going to lose a lot of experience upgrading these guys. So hopefully they'll regain it upcoming in their war efforts. So what do we got here? Got everybody assigned on this front line. That's not what I wanted. We only want our infantry setting up here, so I'm gonna let's see what we can do here. It says this, but maybe we can, can't tell. Okay, there we go. So I should be able to add these guys. There we go. So that'll work. Yeah, otherwise I have this Guyana front that will be on the UK and the French Guyana is here. The Dutch are in the Axis, so we won't mess with them. I'm just doing this as like a preemptive, just in case the Allies declare war on me kind of thing. It's the same thing I've done with the garrison. I've set it up all along the coast of what was Brazil down through southern Argentina, so that will work. I also went ahead and deleted all of my current squadrons because I was going to rebuild them. So let's go ahead and do that. Build these with like a couple hundred each. We've got a pretty scattered units here because we capture, a bunch of equipment, aircraft from other countries, I think. So that's where these usually come from. We actually do have some fighter 2s in here. That's good. we might think about putting some of these, maybe that one that was interwar back. So Liberia has joined the Allies. Okay, we've got some research slot available as well. Let's go ahead and look. Where were we at? We just did infantry equipment 3 here. So we are up to 1942. Let's go ahead and start upgrading our recon company or engineer company. Logistics. Let's go with logistics because we have a lot of those logistical issues when we're fighting, in the jungles. So that will work. We actually need some aluminum as well, and our prime trading partner of the US will ask them for a little bit more. So yeah, we were going to build a few aircraft around these parts, and we have infantry equipment there. So not far from 1943, so we could do that. Let's actually do this. Get our advanced computing machinery. That was only going to be 78 days. So yeah, this episode, while we justify those wars, which let me actually check when that was going to happen. July 19th. We can actually start justifying up here again, though. So we have over 25. We'll go do Guatemala. I think that would be everybody except for El Salvador and then Mexico, obviously. So this is actually... Is this a new division? Yes. Yes, it is. So the fall of Rome. Allied forces recently entered Rome after the surrender of the garrison, and the city is now under military occupation. Most of the historical landmarks remain intact, having weathered yet another battle for control over the city. For now, at least, Allied troops have stayed out of the Vatican, outside Vatican City at the request of the Holy See. The fall of Rome is an important milestone in the Italian campaign, and some are wondering if this means the end of the organized resistance to advancing Allied armies in the peninsula. So... Alright, actually with these guys coming online and we created that, let's go ahead, well, let's, to assign them, let's go ahead and set a front line with these guys, and then anybody that gets built, I can then assign them right there to that front line. Even though that's not an actual front line that we'll use. We'll just have them so we know that where there are as they build. Yeah, so our production needs went up way high from that original number that it was showing us. Support equipment's good. Actually pretty close on our light tanks as well. So let me go ahead and keep speeding up time here. Let's put a few aircraft down here. What was the better place? Wow, only 200 there. Some more civilian factories. We did build some coastal forts. I thought let's continue building coastal forts. Just to prevent any landings possibly in the future is my thought there. So we'll add some military factories in here though too. And mix some of these factories within those coastal forts that we were going to build as well. Gotta start thinking that the Allies will declare war on us at some point in time, especially when we start moving into Central America. Getting some low supplies. Obviously the supply throughput in some of these areas is, especially when we're moving through the jungle here, so as far as the AI doesn't move down a better route there, so improved artillery upgrade. Let's look at what we've got here. We can move right into advanced artillery. What was our focus? I'm not even sure if we'll do another focus after this. Yeah, we might not, because that political power... We might try to incite a coup or something like that against the US, since after all, they are trying to push us towards democracy. I know it's a little late in the game to be doing such a thing like that, but... You know, we soon might border with them, assuming that we don't get war declared on us before we go into Mexico. So yeah, we are at the maximum speed, and I'll, I know a lot of you guys were saying, show Europe, but, you know, this is a South American playthrough, so we didn't really need to show this, but obviously not much going on otherwise. So, Germany not doing too well in this series. Let's look at... That's the Axis, so they have some allied problems. The Japanese completely being thrown out of China, just about. No progress. Sometimes you see the Axis going into India, but not here. So I'm going to leave the no focus on right now. So the Dutch Reich has capitulated. Alright, so this actually helps us, because we'll spread out our... We had this front here. These guys are actually taking attrition. What? It's a jungle and it's a storm. Okay. Well, I won't worry about that too much. I don't think their attrition was that bad, was it? Eh, that isn't that good. Well, if we're going to be operating here in the jungle, then we're going to be taking a little bit of attrition here and there. Our supplies for what we're building here. So yeah, we're denouncing Nicaraguan ideals. Motorized is what we need. I was looking at our logistics here, and I think this is where you look at this. But yeah, you can see we have tons of equipment, but it's like so many different types because of all the countries that we've invaded. Romania has capitulated. The struggles between the German Reich and Romania was only a small part of the conflict. The war between the Axis and what remains of the Allies continues elsewhere. Okay. Alright. So these guys will be fully planned out. So what we'll probably do is, you know, these guys will capture Panama, these guys will capture Costa Rica, and then we'll have these guys go around the Panama Canal. Questions the motives of Guatemala there. So what was the date that we were looking for? Because I think it's coming up. Oh, we're actually way high on our justifications as well. But I think... Are we justifying on everybody? It'd be nice if we had a map that showed us that. So, Costa Rica, Panama, let me check that date, July 29th, so that's where everything's going to, everything that we did initially. Honduras, El Salvador, or Guatemala. Not sure why I did that. Okay, well, that's, I'm thinking back to my, the France playthrough, that anytime independence is guaranteed by the UK, you do not want to go in there in Europe, but our independence is guaranteed already, so, by the US, so we should be good, and where would that set that out to be? November, so our operations in Mexico will be in November. Alright. Advanced computing machine, that was... I'm going to go into doing everything for encryption, decryption here. And actually, let me take the one that takes a little bit longer, because we kind of lagged behind on that. Ah, yes, we needed some aircraft here too. Some bombers, close air support. 160 is okay. Alright, so these guys... Central America, I guess, would be the theater. Air superiority, and these guys won't be here till July 15th. Close air support, and actually we missed something. We needed to be moving our navy over here, and that will probably delay us slightly. So we'll do search and destroy missions in the Western Canal Zone. Okay, let's hope they can get here quick enough. And the German Reich declared war on Yugoslavia. That doesn't seem like a wise idea. Wonder how our upgrades were all going. Yeah, so these guys, these tank divisions, armored divisions are green again, so that's not very good, but... Don't really like what we're doing here. Let's, because we're taking this attrition constantly, let's delete this. I think maybe if we put them... Let me check the terrain here. It's still jungle. Plains. Let's just set these guys up as a garrison in basically what was Venezuela. That'll spread them out so that they're not taking that attrition. These guys taking attrition as well? Yes, they are. I think let's actually have them go to the front line here. Probably need to cancel whatever they were doing, though. The previous front line. Anybody else taking attrition along the coast here? I wouldn't think so on the coast. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Just gotta be this army that was taking attrition, so it was letting us know there. Okay, we're about to declare war on Panama, and actually I'll declare war on everybody that we have the justification for. And that should be super easy, though. Of course, we shouldn't be attacking. We'll be attacking with these guys that actually have a leader. With that said, though, now that we actually are not doing... Advanced artillery's done, too, so let's look into something else. A land doctrine? Where are we at in land doctrines? Let's actually move on. That's what we should have been doing, because these take a long time. Yeah, should have been doing that. Okay, so... Yeah, what I was going to do before we do any of this was... We have a lot of political power now, so let's recruit a couple new generals. We might be splitting some of these guys off at some point in time. I'm gonna, yeah, exactly, let's split. This guy and put him, I know he's not very good, but I'm not expecting the resistance to be too high here, so... Okay, let's go ahead, declare a war on Panama. Costa Rica. And we'll see if the US tries to mess with us, or the Allies for that matter. I'm not expecting it, though. Alright, so there you go. They're all individual wars as well, so... We will commence our invasion. Are we going to have to replan this now that we reassign this guy, though? That's not going to be good. Yeah, we might need to just set this back to this guy. All right. Once these guys land, then I'll switch them over to that new general. So they're inviting to faction. No. We don't want to join that sinking ship. You can see that the largest world tension is created by the German Reich, though. Okay, we've got more shipyards coming online. Just checking here. Submarine. I think we're capturing... We already captured new factories here. That's what that is telling us, and we need to trade for more steel with the Americans. That's why that came up. Alright. So, first war is complete. Take all states. And done. Okay, so we'll need to capture Costa Rica before we can move these guys up here, though. So we'll see what these guys are doing. Was there any resistance whatsoever there? I did not see any. Okay, there we go. Yeah, these guys need a port in San Jose. We will capture that and then they'll be able to move in here. Speed things up slightly since it looks like there's absolutely no resistance here. That should be it. So let's... There we go. Okay, done with Costa Rica then. Take all states, in turn, done. They had very little equipment. So, define this front line. New offensive line. Were we at war? Yes, we were with Honduras. This one will be done in August. Okay, so we'll be ready to go. I think Mexico was until November or so. So we'll get these guys here. Okay, so actually it does look like we're out of time for this episode. We'll push into Nicaragua and Honduras onto, this is Guatemala, and to Mexico in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. We continue our expansion into Central America, and then we'll be bordering with the United States, I would say. So we'll see what we do then.